Do you want to? You got it. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Hine Ma Tovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters can dwell together in peace. And it's so good to be together as we have the honor of celebrating Shabbat and the privilege to bear witness to the installation of Cantor David Perper. We want to welcome all the friends and colleagues of Cantor Perper who are here. We're absolutely delighted that you've joined us. And we're delighted to welcome Cantor Jordan Frenzel, who has traveled here from his congregation, Ora Mi, in Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania. It's an honor to share the bima with you, Cantor. Now, I have to admit, I haven't seen a cantorial installation before, but one thing I know that will truly make it magnificent is the participation of our choir, who have been working hard towards this moment. We thank you, and to Wendy Traeger and Paul Caston and Cantor Faith Steinsnyder. We know that this is going to be absolutely wonderful. And I know we're in for a very special evening, and we thank all of you for your wonderful talents and the gifts of your spirit. Now, this is an evening of light, particularly amidst, the darkness that we might experience in the world. To be able to join together and celebrate, and not only kindle light literally on our bima, but to kindle light in our spirits as well, which we know. I now have the pleasure of introducing Rabbi Sherry Shama, one of our wonderful former associate rabbis here at Congregation Shalom and a member of the Cantorial Search Committee who has the honor of kindling our Shabbat candles. You can follow along in your Siddur on page 2. That's page 2.
It's an honor to bring the light of Shabbat into this congregation and to really celebrate the light that you share with all of us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
We are now going to turn in our Siddur to page 20 for Lechadodi. Lechadodi, composed in the town of Sfat as mystics used to ascend towards the Ha'ari synagogue up on the hillside. And this beautiful music, this beautiful Tehillim, this beautiful prayer has always lifted us, lifted our spirits, and just as our cantors do. And it's a joy to see Cantor Faith, who is going to lead us in the singing of the Chadodi. When we get to the final verse, it is accustomed to stand and turn towards the door and to bow as we say, Bawi Kala, Bawi Kala.
Lechadodi likrat kala inei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'letiferet, v'litehillah. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nei lecha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machashava techila. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hit'orri, ki va'oreich, kumi
We continue now in our Siddur on page 27. We remain standing. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We turn now to page 145, and you were right, you can be seated. I was wrong. Page 145 as we turn to the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון וביומי חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen.
We rise now as we turn to the call to worship, which can be found on page 146.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
On page 147, let's read responsively. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We continue on page 148 with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu uvekunenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We continue now with the watchword of our faith, the Shema, which can be found on page 149.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 150.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We read responsively now on page 151. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp, as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
מי כמוך באלים, אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, עושה פלא.
מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים,
ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, לעולם, לעולם, לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו, והסר מעלינו אויב, דבר וחרב, ורעב ויגון, והרחיק ממנו עוון ופשע, ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו מצילנו אתה, כי אל חנון ורחום אתה, ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Beautiful. Yom Zeh Yisrael, Yismach Moshe. This is Israel's day of light and joy and a Shabbat of rest. Moses rejoices, sharing his gift. And what have you called him? You have called him a loyal servant. And what have you given him? A crown for his head.
יום זה לישראל, אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה, אורה ושמחה. v'simcha, Shabbat menucha, ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha, Yom ze leYisrael. Yom ze leYisrael, ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha, ora v'simcha, Shabbat menucha. Yismach Moshe. Yismach Moshe b'matnat chelko, b'matnat chelko, b'matnat chelko. Uma karatalo, evet ne'eman karatalo, karatalo. Uma natatalo, Kalile berosho natatalo. Yismach Moshe. Yismach Moshe b'matnat chelko, b'matnat chelko, b'matnat chelko. Uma karatalo, evet ne'eman karatalo. Uma natatalo, Kelile berosho natatalo. Yismach Moshe.
Cantor, are encores allowed during services? That was extraordinary. What an extraordinary piece of music. Well, we need to move on in our service. We need to turn to page 155 as we rise together as one community for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei HaKol, Ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi geula livnei v'neihem lema'an shemo be'ahava melech ozer umoshia umagen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, Michamolcha ba'al gevurot, umito melach, melech memit, umechaye, umatzmiach yeshu, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha sela Baruch ata Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
You may be seated. We continue on page 159. We'll read responsively. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. We'll continue at the top of page 160. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And we'll continue on page 161 in the English. Be gracious, Adonai our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Our God and God of our fathers and our mothers, be truly mindful of us and all your people Israel on this
Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world together with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. We turn now to page 164 for Shalom Rav, a prayer for peace at a time when we could all use some mental peace and peace in our world. And with those words of peace echoing in our ears, we turn to page 253. We think of those who are in need of healing, of shalom, which has the same root as shalem, of wholeness. Those in need of healing of body, in need of healing of spirit, of soul, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf. We turn to these words of Misha Berach. Our community at this time is thinking of Shandel Bat Frida Malka, Julie Borikoff, Margot Raz, Carol Dubin, Samsara Vizcaya, Sharon Rotman, Bob Radke, Lyle Rubel, Jean Bass, Alan Turner, Steve Toplinski, Myron Dvorkin, Esther Cohen, Lisa Furstad, Terry Finch, Harav Ilana Miriam Bat Chava, Faye Levin, HaChazan Sarah Rachel Bat Yocheved Alexander, Tia Barrett, Wendy Salzberg, Steve Plotkin, Kathy Peltz, Avram Ben Naftali, Emma and Max, Doug Cruz, Nadiva Sarah Batliba, Carol Rovner, David Goldstein, Marilyn Harmon, Chris St. Martin, Barry Bursack, Debbie Kelly, Susan Sack, Reza Tzvia Batshena Etta, Mary Frankowitz, Sophia Rubenstein, Ilana Himmelfarb, Charmaine Hayden, Wendy Wiviet, Sue Weller, Kate Wilson, Yocheved Bat Rundle V'chaim, Walter Shapiro, Otto Feller, Avraham Bat Frida, Marla Chakowski, Michael Sachek, David Rotter, Helene Wallenberg, Peter Becker, Natalie Cohen, Elaine Keller, Teresa Drews, Yona Neri Ben Avraham Vasara, Batya Bat Moshe Valiba, Keith Mandel, Jamie Kriyaman Gavson, Isla Bat Natan Vishoshana, and Marnie Wickman Rabin. If there are those who you are thinking of who are in need of refuat hanefesh or refuat haguf, a healing of soul and a healing of body, please invite you to hold their names in your hearts this evening as we say these words of Misha Berach. We sing them together on page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Now we'll take a moment for silent meditation for the words and the offerings of your heart.
Ose shalom bimroma, hu yase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Ose shalom b'roma, hu yase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Ose shalom b'roma, hu yase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
I know we all want to clap. It was extraordinary. And thank you for bringing such beautiful spirit to our community and our congregation. Cantor, this is long overdue to have this moment, for us to have this moment together. You know, around 2,000 years ago, when the Second Temple was destroyed and the choirs of the Levites disbanded, worship took on a new importance. It wasn't only about serving God with song and lyre, but now it was about survival. Gathering for prayer became more important in a world that could seem dark and cruel, not unlike today, especially today. It was in this environment that synagogues began to designate individuals to be shlichei tzibur, emissaries of our community, to lead our prayers to the divine throne of God. And that was the beginning of one permutation of what is now the modern cantorate. No matter the challenges we underwent as a people, the songs of our ancestors and the new songs of the generations that are forever reshaping the musical scene commingled to form a beautiful chorus of prayer and hopes, articulated and expressed by the sweetest and strongest voices in our community. And over time, the role of the cantor has expanded. They teach B'nai Mitzvah students, they teach music in our schools, they sing at our weddings, the naming of our babies. They sing as we accompany our loved ones to their eternal sleep, and they sing quietly at our bedside when we are in need of song and spiritual uplift. And they teach Torah. They are a more talented version of us rabbis, but don't get any ideas. We've been blessed in our congregation's 70-year history to be served by truly extraordinary cantors and soloists. Saul Zitrin, Cantor Pavel Slavinsky, Cantor Charles Julian, Marilyn Sternberg, Barbara Roberts, Cantor Larry Charson, and in particular, our dear Cantor Emerita, Cantor Karen Berman. The beauty of their voices, as important as that has always been, is a mere echo of the fineness of their character and profound spirituality. When we sought to find our next cantor, it was a tall order to find someone that could inspire us the way our cantors have in the past. And Cantor Perper has done just that. Joining us in the midst of a global pandemic, unable to sing in person or meet the community he was serving, Cantor jumped right in with talent and heart, humor, and the enthusiasm. Cantor Perper led our first and hopefully last virtual high holiday services. He met with people of all ages over Zoom, and he and Faith, who is also a brilliant cantor and truly wonderful colleague and gift to our community, set about integrating themselves into our congregation. I don't know how you did it, Cantor, but you did it. Shalom, your home. In just under 2 years, it feels a little like we experienced 40 years, but when we look back at these years, I think that we'll be filled with tremendous appreciation for what we've been through and surmounted, and for the myriad of ways your music and your being have uplifted the staff, the community, and the congregants of every generation. And so we have a gift for you today, because you have woven yourself into the fabric of our community so beautifully. Would you come forward and open up this package? Linda wrapped it, so she does a good job of wrapping. So now? Yeah, now. It's a gorgeous tallis. May you wear it in good health. When I see the image of this tallis with the blue, I think of our people passing through the Sea of Reeds.
Take this end.
And singing.
We're going to do the jerk.
Oh, we're going to do, okay. and singing as they pass through all of the trials of that sea of reeds. When we got to the other side, they turned around to what they had beholden, and they sang. And that's just like you. You sang, you lift our spirits, and you get us through to the other side, Cantor. Thank you. It's a joy to share in moments such as these with you. Today especially, we need the songs of our ancestors to inspire us and bring forward our values, to sing of what we believe and who we are. We also need the people who sing them to be people we trust and admire. And in you, Cantor Perper, we have found just that person. It took a search committee to find you, wonderful people who clearly knew what they were doing. And it now takes a community to celebrate this sacred moment. It's now a pleasure to introduce David Arnstein, who together with Steve Wallace, who couldn't be here tonight, chaired our committee and brought you here to Shalom to be our cantor. Yeshu Koach, Cantor. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov, and may you have many long years here with us.
Thank you, Rabbi. These are tough acts to follow, so I'll try my best. So I'm honored to say a few words on this joyous occasion, celebrating Cantor David Perper's installation as cantor here at Shalom. I'd like to note that I speak on behalf of our entire Cantor Search Committee, many of which are here with us tonight, and my wonderful co-chair, Steve Wallace, who was unable to join us. So I was thinking about my remarks I'd make tonight, and I reflected back on how I ended up here this evening. It took me back to 2019 in June. I received a call from past President Beth Silver. I might add that the presidents don't call very often. So Beth said, hey, we'd like you to consider co-chairing the Cantor Search Committee. I don't know, I was very honored to be asked, and I asked a few questions. The main one was, what's the time commitment? Beth let me know you'll have a great co-chair, a great committee, and it won't be a long process. Well, as you recall, I said we started in June of 19, but we did not end until March of 2020 when we found David Perper. So thank you, Beth, for the opportunity. And I didn't realize several things that would occur when I agreed to co-chair. One, over those 10 months, I would talk to Steve Wallace more than my wife. Two, I had to juggle 2 full-time jobs. And 3, I would play real estate agent therapist, fielding frantic calls from Cantor Perper, trying to find a house in Milwaukee. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it. We are blessed to have Cantor Perper and faith in our community, and Cantor Perper is part of our clergy. So at our first meeting in July of 2019, our committee began a very challenged task to find a new cantor for Shalom. Shalom has been blessed with an extraordinary cantor, Karen Berman, who served us for decades, and so many of us, the only cantor we have ever known. And to give you a sense of how frightened our search replacement was, we had 21 people on our committee. And by comparison, we had 8 members on our most recent rabbinic search committee. So why is this overwhelming interest in selecting a cantor? I think that while many people are perhaps uncertain as to what mysteries make up attributes of a perfect rabbi, everyone seems to know or think they know what sort of voice they want to hear in the bima. But while the voice is critically important, the role of the cantor is so much more. At our first meeting, we defined what attributes we like in our next cantor. In addition to defining those attributes, we also collectively said as a committee something very important. We would not settle for a cantor. We'd find the right cantor for Shalom. I'd like to pause here and just say Steve and I are very grateful, beyond words, for the committee's long hours of hard work, attentive and close reading of each candidate, and the care they devoted during the exhaustive interview process. Our congregation owes them a debt of great gratitude, as do Steve and I. So, Cantor Perper. You follow a beloved cantor who set the bar high, and to whom the congregation will always be grateful. And it's our tradition that we formally welcome you and install you as a cantor tonight at Shalom. You impressed our committee with your enthusiasm and your love of Torah and Jewish musical tradition. You bring a bissel of New York swagger to this Midwestern outpost of Judaism, and we have no doubt about your ability to convey the full tapestry of Jewish spirituality. And you stood out among all of the candidates by demonstrating your creativity and energy, your passion for all music, but Jewish music in particular. And you expressed in your interview your desire to use music to enrich the spiritual lives of all of our congregants. This diverse family happily dwelling here in the large tent of Shalom. We wish you and Faith, who has also blessed us with her beautiful voice and talents, all the happiness here, and look forward with great enthusiasm to learning and growing with you as our cantor and continue on our journey. Thank you. So I have one quick story I want to conclude with from your visit in February 2020. So it was with great anticipation your visit to Milwaukee. As a reminder, not long after that, we went into a global pandemic. And our committee was very concerned about impressing you for Milwaukee. As a longtime East Coast resident, we want to make sure that you also came home and told Faith this is a place you want to be. So Beth Silver, Steve Wallace, and I took you to lunch in the beautiful 3rd Ward. Now, I don't know if you remember this moment or not, but during lunch, you turned to me and said, I don't want you just to want a cantor. I want you to want David Perper. Well, that was the moment that I knew you were our next cantor. As our committee wasn't going to settle for a cantor, we wanted the right fit, and we found it in David Perper. So at your request, we even invited Cantor Jordan Franzel to share the simcha. Cantor Franzel has served Congregation ORME in Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania, since July 2022. He received his Master's of Sacred Music from HUC-JIR, Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music, and was ordained as a cantor in 1996. In 2021, Cantor Franzel received an honorary doctorate in music from HUC. Prior to his pulpit in Pennsylvania, Cantor Franzel served as senior cantor of Central Synagogue in New York City. Cantor Franzel's music has been utilized at Hebrew Union College, various congregations and camps around the country and beyond, and most recently at the URJ Biennial. We are honored and delighted to welcome to our Congregation Shalom this evening, Cantor Franzel. Please join us.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm incredibly honored to be with you this Shabbat on the occasion of Cantor David Perper's installation. Thank you, Rabbi Chertkov, Rabbi Pazowski, for sharing the bima with me. I'm also very happy to be here with my teacher and dear friend, Cantor Faith Steinsnyder. Thank you, Congregation Shalom, for this incredible honor and opportunity to wish you and Cantor Perper Mazel Tov and lots of spiritual success in your holy partnership. I met Cantor David Perper exactly 30 years ago. In a blast of light and a blink of the eye, the future Cantor Perper and I met in Jerusalem in our very first year of cantorial school. At this initial meeting, he was there and gone in 30 seconds. I was meeting many members of our class of rabbinic, cantorial, and education students, all starting out in the Holy Land, and David, as he was known, made an instant impression on me. I saw him as someone who had a lot of energy and who moved really fast. In Hebrew, we call that zirizut, translated as alacrity and enthusiasm. This would come to help Cantor Perper in this year in Jerusalem, as he was a regular on the field of the weekly Ultimate Frisbee game. That's true. But it wasn't his talents on the Frisbee field that truly impressed me. It was the incredible musicality that was obviously pouring out from his soul. I would later learn that David was fulfilling what the Psalms say, I will sing to my God with my entire being. Certainly this was his gift. And I remember one of our professors remarking on the physicality of Cantor Perper's singing. He said, and I paraphrase, that David sang in a way that was almost athletic. I am the complete opposite of athleticism. So I would say that Cantor Perper's singing is infectious as it is exhilarating. As we became close friends, David and I, in that first year in Jerusalem, experienced everything. From sitting in the back of the tour bus singing a cappella versions of Under the Boardwalk, to staying up late to go hear the Syrian Jews singing their liturgical poems at 3 a.m, enjoying the Sinai Peninsula, driving all over Israel in our small, micro, subcompact rental car, to composing music in my apartment. That initial year in Israel solidified our friendship.
I remember being assigned various ensembles with the future Cantor Purper, and singing together was truly a religious experience. A cantor's cantor. I recall David taking the role of instructor as he helped our class master the intricacies of biblical cantillation. And student Cantor Purper sang throughout our 4 years of seminary with great passion, straight from the heart. Whether he sang secular or spiritual songs, David had us on the edge of our seats when he opened his mouth. Rebbe Nachman, a famous Hasidic rabbi with thousands of students and devotees, despite the fact that he died 212 years ago, teaches that it is an important spiritual exercise to seek out good points within our being. These good points are the positive human qualities that we all have in varying degrees. The Rebbe teaches that by seeking out our positive points, we become more alive and more enthusiastic in our being, and we are able to see the world as a series of blessings. A person who could do this well may also have the ability to see good points in others. In a very poetic way, Rebbe Nachman says that all these good points could be thought of as musical notes, points on a music staff that make a melody. As the Rebbe taught, the prayer leader is called the Shaliach Tzibur, the representative of the congregation. He must be chosen by all the congregation. He must gather all the good points that are found in everyone. He must be on such a high level that all the good points desire to come to him and are incorporated within him. Then he stands and prays tunefully with all this goodness. A person who could make such tunes, who could judge every individual favorably by searching out their good points, such a person is a tzaddik, a righteous person, who could represent the congregation and be a cantor. This describes my friend David. David, you are that person who gathers good points because you see the good in everyone, and that goodness is reflected in you. And in turn, that goodness flows out of you with abundant, melodious beauty. A wise person once said that in making an impact on people and the world, you won't necessarily be remembered for what you did or said or how much knowledge you attained. Rather, you will be remembered for how you made people feel. David has the awesome ability to make us feel good. Whether you are seeking spirituality or not, it is abundantly clear that Cantor Purper sings and serves his community with passion, sincerity, and strength, with emotion evoking a deep connection to an ancient Jewish practice and profession, and leading us to new, inspiring moments through his music and zirizut, his enthusiasm. So I invite you to liven yourself with Cantor Purper's song. Even if you can't sing well, you could still be inspired by melody. As the Rebbe teaches, melodies are very great and exalted to waken your heart and draw it close to God. So I wish my friend a myriad of blessings on you and this community. May you continue to serve this congregation and the Jewish people with great strength and courage, with sincerity and compassion, with zirizut, and with your neshama, your soul and whole being. And may you find your spiritual home here to be a place in which you could bring all your gifts and feel the support of your beautiful congregation. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
I love you.
So now we present a world premiere of a composition written by Cantor Franzel in honor of this blessed evening of my installation. Liven yourself with a song.
It is good for a person to
yourself with a song. For melodies are very great and exalted to waken the heart with power so strong and draw it close to God. If you cannot sing well, you can still inspire yourself with a tune. Sing it as best as you can, even in solitude. For music and melody are beyond measure. So liven yourself with a song. So liven yourself with a song.
And so we move now from the very new, from this beautiful new piece of music, to a blessing that has been on the lips of our ancestors for thousands of years, the priestly benediction. It's a joy to call upon Cantor Frenzel, as well as Cantor Berman and Rabbi Pozlowski to step forward as Cantor Berman and I will open up our ark doors, and then we have the honor of bestowing the threefold benediction of our people upon Cantor Perper. Please rise now as we turn to this sacred moment. bless you and keep you.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
May God's countenance shine upon you, and may God always smile upon you, Cantor Purper, and bless you with God's choicest of blessings, the blessing of wholeness, the blessing of peace, and the blessing of shalom. We remain standing now as we continue with the blessing that is said on all sacred occasions, moments in which we are overjoyed, the Shehechianu.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Shehechianu v'kiyemanu Shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh 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 Hallelujah, 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 amen. Hallelujah, 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 amen, amen, amen. Amen. Mazel tov to me. Please be seated. Poor Rabbi Noah, he's still getting used to me. It's an acquired taste. I asked Rabbi Noah how long my remarks should be. He said, be done by 9. We'll see. Shabbat Shalom. Faith, we made the right decision. Thank you, Beth Silver. Thank you, Brent, for all of your support in these 2 interesting years. This evening, I'm missing my family, but I think they're watching via live stream. I love you all very much, including my mother. Shalom felt significant and special from my initial conversations with the search committee co-chairs David Arnstein and Steve Wallace, which were warm, friendly, kind, thorough, and professional. My interview process seemed very easy and positive. And there are so many people to thank. I know I'm going to miss some of you, and my apologies ahead of time. To my wife, Faith, I love you so much. Thank you for always supporting me. For your love, your care, your voice, your teaching, your devotion. Thank you. I love you. To Cantor Franzel, Jordan, thank you for your friendship, musical inspiration, and laughter. So much laughter. Every time we start harmonizing, I can't control myself. I've been close to Jordan since we first met in Jerusalem in our first year of cantorial school. We've been making music together almost every year since. Thank you, my friend. I'm thankful and blessed to work with Rabbi Chertkov and Rabbi Pozlowski. Thank you for your generosity, wisdom, and inspiration. To Brian Ovner, our Director of Education, thank you for your calm and confident leadership. I count myself very fortunate to work alongside these people, one especially of which, Linda Hollifield. She is dedicated and always working. There's more to that sentence, but I just wanted to emphasize that. She's dedicated and always working for Shalom's present and future to be its very, very best. The support I've received from all of you has been an inspiration to me to continue to bring Shalom my best of shared educational as well as cultural programming opportunities and moving worship. Thank you for our wonderful accompanist, Paul Caston. Each of us, is looking forward to, if I'm correct, your 38th year with us. Thank you. Your knowledge and musical institutional memory has been priceless. Thank you so much. Wendy Traeger, our choir director, thank you for your amazing skill set, for your musical talent and friendship, your voice, and your incredible unending devotion to Shalom and our choir. We thank you. To each of these choir members, to which we are always inviting more. If you sang in choir in high school, you should be up here. If you love to sing, you should be up here. So please join us. To each of our choir members, each of you adds significantly to the beauty of our worship throughout our year. Rehearsing with you is a joy and a challenge. You know who you are. Thank you. I love every minute that we have together. Wendy Cohen, my partner in religious school, teaching and leading music sessions for all our grades, thank you for your generous spirit and great talent. The Shalom community appreciates all you do. Thank you. Cantor Berman, thank you for your years of giving of yourself. Upon my arrival, the path that you laid down for me was one of great care and preparation. You are so loved by Shalom. Thank you. Shalom is very lucky for the core staff in the office, caring for so many of our needs in running this place. Thank you, Linda, Amy, Laurel, Meredith, Mandy, and Andrea, and all too briefly, Peyton Roberts. You all lead with grace and joy. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor. Yesher Koach and Mazel Tov. It is a joy to share the Bima with you, and all of us are inspired by your music, your sensitivity, and your approach with the greatest of enthusiasm for our community and for Jewish music. You lead us so beautifully, and it's a joy to share in all of this with you. We are now going to turn in our Siddur to Aleinu, which can be found in your Siddur on page 282. That's page 282, as we rise together as one community.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We turn now in our Siddur to page 294 as we think of those who have passed into life eternal for whom we mark the period of Shiva. 294. In particular, we are thinking of Theodore Bernstein, Marlene Kagan, and Terry Williams Lewin. In addition to those names, so too do we think of all those from whom we are commemorating the period of Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period. We think of Fern Baumchill Davis, Jeffrey Dinkin, Marvin Edelstein, Henry Knecht, Janet Meister, Marilyn Sprung, and Leonard Weistrop. In addition to those names, so too do we think of those who have died in seasons gone by. And though the song of their lives have come to an end, they echo into eternity in our hearts and in our minds. Particularly in our hearts and minds, we are thinking of Mus Appel, Darlene Ausman, Morris Berger, Marvin Bruderson, Rachel Cash, Lester Chulak, Kate Corin, Maris Doherty, Celia Genlin, Ruth Goldman, David W. Harris, Bernard Hirsch, Rose Kaufman, Jerome Kurzer, Herman Larkey, Herman Lieberman, Blanche Margolis, Tibor Moses, Laura Neubauer, Patricia Nolte, Harold Ottenstein, Mildred Parr, Rose Pash, Stephen Chad Pearson, Michael Plotkin, Bernard Rosen, Brenda Safer, Della Schnoll, Louis Setlick, Bertha Soref, Milton Soref, Abe Sossman, Arlene Wasserman, Murray Weinstein, Burton M. Zimmerman, Samuel B. Zinder. If there are names that should be added to this list or names that should be pronounced differently than I did, please do call those names out loud as I look in your direction. In addition to the names of our loved ones, so too do we think of all those who have died due to war and or terrorism, both foreign and domestic. We think of all those who died in defense of this nation's ideals as well as allied nations. We think of all those who've perished due to this terrible virus that has stricken our nation and our globe, as well as the virus of racism and xenophobia. In addition to those names too, so too do we think of all those who perished during the Holocaust. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. The Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294. We rise together now as one community as we recite these sacred words. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach yute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei amaya. Yit barach v'ishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. O say shalom bimromav, hu say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. You may be seated. We always turn from memory to hope, looking to the future with a sense of promise that exists in the days to come. It's a joy now to call upon our congregational president, Brent Arnold, who's going to share some announcements on behalf of our congregation. Shabbat Shalom, Brent. It's nice to share in these moments with you. It's the power of hearing the community together. It's very special.
For sure. Thank you, Rabbi. What a joyous occasion we have tonight, and it was really fun to see people saving seats again in Congregation Shalom. Haven't seen that in quite some time. Cantor Perper, it is so nice to have you and your wife in our community. You really do move me every time I get the chance to hear you chant. Your energy and your passion is so inspiring and very, very contagious. Thank you also to Cantor Steinsnyder, Cantor Jordan Franzel, Paul Kasten, Wendy Traeger, and the entire Shalom Adult Choir for helping us celebrate the Shechehianu moment tonight. It truly is a very special night. We also look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night for our Cantor Coffee House celebration.
Well, if I could just add to what he's saying. For those of you who do not yet have a reservation for tomorrow night, we had an incredible rehearsal last night, so I strongly suggest you be here.
There you go, you made the sales pitch. Not to mention that, but also the dessert reception will start at 8:15, and then the Havdalah concert will start at 8:45. That will also be a really great musical celebration. Then on this Sunday morning, June 26th, rise and shine to our Gary Paler Memorial Shalom golf outing at Songbird Hills Golf Club. The weather is looking great, and I hear there are some awesome raffle prizes still coming in. We have over 80 golfers signed up to help benefit our school educational programming. It will be a really great day of breakfast, golf, lunch, prizes, and a whole lot more fun. I even hear there's a rumor out there that Rabbi Ron will be golfing as well. So thanks for everyone's hard work in making this happen. I am really looking forward to it. Planning is also underway for a Shalom family trip to Israel over Hanukkah this year. Rabbi Noah is looking to travel with our congregational families to Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, northern Israel, and the Negev. If you are interested, there's a form to fill out, or you can talk to Rabbi Noah about it. Rabbi Noah is also beginning his sabbatical next month in July, and I'd like to wish him some time of much personal education, family, and reflection, as well as a chance to fully recharge. I also want to thank all of our clergy and staff for helping cover Shalom's needs at this time. Next weekend, Ava Commissar will be celebrating her bat mitzvah. Mazel tov to the Commissar family. Also on July 14th at 7 o'clock, we'll be having our Shalom Membership Committee meeting. Please reach out to David Wolfson if you are interested in joining. We hope to see you soon at our daily minyan services, our Saturday Torah studies, our Shabbat services, and our Saturday luncheons. We also welcome you to participate in Tuesday's adult education classes and Thursday's What's New conversations. Thanks again to you all for being here tonight to celebrate and install our amazing cantor. Cantor, We are blessed with your talent. I look forward to talking to you all more afterwards at our Oneg tonight, and I hope to see you all at our upcoming events. I also want to wish you all a wonderful and safe 4th of July upcoming weekend. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Brent. We are now going to turn back in our Siddur to page 5 for the Kiddush. So we invite you now to rise as Cantor Steinsnyder is going to lead us. Our cup truly is overflowing with blessings, with all of the wonderful music, with all of the spirituality that comes from all of our wonderful cantors. We thank you for rising as we turn to the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
L'chaim. So we are now going to turn to our concluding hymn for the Shabbat. Cantor, what is our concluding hymn for the Shabbat?
You know, I've thought about it long and hard, Rabbi. And I thought, let's do something that they don't know. And then Rabbi said, that's not a good idea. So I thought, let's turn to page 321 and sing together a very well-known melody by Gerovich, Adon Olam, page 321. Let's sing. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra Ve'yacharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hove Ve'hu Yiyeh בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום מקרא בידו אף כדרוכי בעת אישן ועירה ואם רוחי כבייתי אדוני לי ולא אירה.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
and Mazel
Shalom.
Tov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.